I'm here with Lurky the turkey. We've got a very exclusive interview. So Lurky, I'm just wondering, Lurky. How rude. Some informants can be such turkeys. Welcome back for part 2 of Lizz's road trip adventures. If you missed part 1, you can click here to check it out. So after all our adventures along the way, we managed to arrive just in time for the wedding, which was a ton of fun. But that's pretty much all the footage I have from the wedding. Luckily, I have some clips of other fun we had during our trip. For instance, I did some excellent spinning with the croutons.
What am I videoing?
The spinning of the cheers, of course.
Wee! Everyone say wee! Wee! We also made castles on the beach, which was very fun. Though a little bit pugilistic at first, we had to build a wall for protection until the enemy kingdom proposed a peace treaty. We accepted, though with some suspicion, since we'd heard whisperings of a secret plan afoot. You're not gonna break the peace treaty, are you? No.
And a spy on their castle.
Why do you need reconnaissance? We're in a peace treaty.
Just for cultural advancement.
Oh, I see. You're trying to learn about our various systems? Well, we don't need this wall anymore. We could just knock it down.
Okay, let's just knock it down.
We're just a peaceful nation
Okay,
now.
good idea. Let's knock it down then.
I don't know if I trust you. I hear you guys have a secret plan. Hey!
You said we could knock it down.
As you can see, the peace treaty didn't last for very long. But don't worry. In the end, everyone learned a valuable lesson about honor and integrity. The rest of today's footage is from the State Fair, which provided all sorts of anthropologically fascinating exhibitions. Example number 1, Mutton Bustin. Mutton Bustin is an apparently highly popular sporting event similar to the bucking bronco riding you might find at a rodeo. Except instead of bucking broncos, you have overexcited sheep. And instead of cowboys, you have small children under the age of 6. The children cling for dear life to the wool on the sheep's back for as long as they can, and there are prizes awarded to whatever child lasts the longest. I'm going to show you some footage of this fascinating cultural exercise, but let me warn you in advance, it is not for the faint of heart. Okay, it's over. You can open your eyes. My next exhibit of State Fair anthropology comes from a product exposition / cooking show we sat through for about an hour. This was another fascinating experience. The show started out with the demonstrator giving us very helpful information to teach us how to improve our cooking.
Fat is the world's best sponge. When it heats up, it absorbs the moisture flavor out of the meat and puts it in the skin. I want to keep my meat moist and flavorful, don't you?
Yeah.
Get rid of the fat that's sucking it out.
If you ignored the wall of shiny pots behind him and that company logo over his head, you could barely tell he was trying to sell you something. At first.
How many would like to turn your power off a third of the way into the cooking process the rest of your life? Okay, let me ask an easier question. Who likes to save a lot of money?
After the cooking show / infomercial, we headed over to the animal exhibits, where we engaged in one of my favorite fair pastimes, pretending you know something about the animals and seeing if you can convince anyone to believe you. This is the Flemish giant bunny. As you can see from the shape of its ears, it's actually meant to live in forests. Its ears are slightly larger and more rounded. That's to help with the echoes as they're bouncing off the trees. Desert bunnies have thinner, more pointy ears because of the way that the sound goes on the sand. The interesting thing about the Flemish giant is the females are smaller and visible, and the males are actually bigger but invisible. So the male is in this cage, pretty much filling up the entire cage, but you just can't see it because the males are actually always invisible.
As you've seen, they're very large eggs, although there are holes in them. And that's to allow the baby ostrich to escape whenever it needs to get out for food.
Oh.
So it can live there actually until it's 6 years old.
Oh.
At which point eventually it will then go out into the wild on its own. Let's get a close-in on the tenemu over here. It's a very polished egg. Notice nice finish? That's because this isn't even a real bird egg. We just put this in here for a point to see if people were actually looking at the eggs or not. This is just a precious stone.
One of these turkeys actually believes that this fence is a mirror, and the other turkey has been playing this joke on him for quite some time now. He thinks it's pretty funny. Now here's the trick. One of those aforementioned animal facts is actually true. Can you guess which one? Gotcha. Actually, none of them were true. We made them all up. Anyway, tune in tomorrow for the final video in my road trip series, featuring the invention and consumption of a dessert item I'm sure will soon be sweeping the nation: onion ice cream.